Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of the most talked about Rolex model in recent years. The Rolex GMT-Master reference 126710 VTNR, and also known as Sprite. The GMT is easily one of the most popular and desirable watch in the entire Rolex lineup. And while I have been mentioned before that I have been waiting for more than 5 years for my Submariner, it actually took me 7 years to finally get my hands on a GMT. So, in this video, we're going to talk about the journey, my hesitation, why I almost say no, and why I ultimately say yes. I've always wanted a GMT-Master II. Initially, I asked for the Batgirl, the black and blue bezel with the Jubilee bracelet. I thought that would give me the highest chance since the Sprite, Pepsi, and the so-called Bruce Wayne were all newer and more desirable at that time. Then one day, I got the call. It wasn't really the Batgirl, it was the left-handed Sprite, and honestly, I needed a couple of days to think about it. I spent hours watching YouTube video, scrolling through photos, and reading what other people thought about this watch. I really had to convince myself. One of the biggest hesitation was the bracelet. I really want that Jubilee bracelet. In my opinion, it feels more comfortable and pairs better with the GMT. The Oyster bracelet with the polished center links is a scratch magnet, and I know myself, I'm gonna have OCD trying to keep it clean and mint. The other hesitation was the cyclops. I've mentioned in one of my earlier videos that it looks strange to me that Rolex moved the cyclops to the 9 o'clock position instead of keeping it at the traditional 3 o'clock position. It just feels visually unusual, especially for someone who is used to the decades of Rolex design language. So between the Oyster bracelet and the left side cyclops, I wasn't immediately sold. But in the end, of course, I bought it. First of all, the color combination looks amazing. Green and black are Rolex signature colors. It's bold and still very wearable. Secondly, I have already waited for 7 years. During that time, I slowly watched watch prices creeping up year after year. It started to feel like the watch is becoming more and more out of reach. If I had to wait for a few more years, I can't imagine how expensive it might be. And there is also speculation that the Sprite could be a short-run model, that Rolex may only produce for a few years before discontinuing it. If that is true, this could be one of the rarer GMT compared to others. So, emotionally and logically, it just makes sense to say yes. One thing I didn't expect is how much of a conversation starter this watch is. The left-handed crown and cyclops immediately catches people's attention. Even non-watch people notice something different. It's one of those Rolex that doesn't look like every other Rolex across the table. It's still a GMT-Master II, but with personality. Another thing that surprised me is how comfortable it actually is on the wrist. Despite my worries about the Oyster bracelet, the watch wears very well. The case proportion are classic GMT and the crown on the left hand side doesn't bother me at all. In fact, for some people, it might be even more comfortable because it doesn't dig into the wrist. I also feel extremely lucky that I end up getting this watch when I did. The dealer I built my relationship with told me that if I didn't want this one, I could always wait for the next one. But only a couple of months after my purchase, they closed the store completely. That means if I had said no, I would now be starting all over again with a new dealer, building a new relationship and potentially waiting more years. Looking back, it feels like the timing was meant to be. What I like the most about the Sprite is that it breaks tradition. Rolex rarely takes risks, and this is one of those rare moments where they did something truly different. It's not just another color swap, it's a re-engineered GMT with a new layout and identity. Whether people love it or hate it, it will always be remembered as the left-handed GMT. That alone makes it special. So, after 7 years of waiting, do I regret choosing the Sprite instead of the Batgirl or the Pepsi? Not at all. I got a GMT-Master II with a unique design, Rolex signature color, and what may become one of the rarer modern GMTs. Yes, I still prefer the Jubilee bracelet. Yes, the cyclops took time to get used to, but this watch tells stories, and that story is part of why I love it. Sometimes the watch you didn't plan on buying becomes the one you appreciate the most. What do you think about this Rolex Sprite? Love it? Hate it? Would you take it if you got the core? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.